Well, good afternoon. This is Tim Papura, a publisher of Security Systems News, here on Leadership Talks. Today, we have Dave deLisser, Director of Global Sales Marketing for Pelco by Schneider. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, Tim. I'm very happy to be here. I'm calling in from the As Is show in Dallas and looking forward to the conversation.
Excellent. So I'm here at As Is as well. And give me your impression of the event so far. I've seen your booth, past your booth, that it seems pretty brisk and busy. So, how's it been for you guys?
Yeah, we always like As Is because it's a great opportunity for us to connect with end users and with A&E specifiers as well as our reselling partners that are here. So it's a good opportunity for us to give the brand some visibility and learn from the people that are coming in and out of the stand. For us, we've got some great new products that we're showing here, so we're excited about how they're being received. And the people that have come in to see us have been some great quality people. We've made some good contacts that we wouldn't have made if we weren't here, so we're happy to be here.
Awesome. Before we get into talking about Pelco, this is called Leadership Talks, and one of the things I have to ask you, I do this in every one, what is your personal leadership style? How do you do it?
So I've been with Pelco for a long time now. I'm actually looking on my 22nd year right now, and So as I've been part of the Pelco team, I've had a lot of different teams that I've been fortunate enough to work with along the way. So that's included product management. It's included our integration and partnering efforts, some business development, and some marketing. Along the way, my current role is obviously sales marketing. And along the way, most of the teams that I've been responsible for have been teams that have really had to interact and, I'll say, influence other groups throughout the organization, including engineering and sales and support and a lot of what we do. So I'd say along the way, probably, with regards to my personal management style, I really do enjoy a challenge, and I do enjoy trying to come up and make sure the team's focused on identifying and getting to the best solution for that challenge. And, business every day it presents you with new challenges. And my approach and what I think works well for me is making sure that as we take on a challenge, that working with the team to really understand what the challenge is and what options are available for us to take on that challenge, meaning what solutions are available for us to implement. And I will tell you, I very rarely come up with the best idea myself. My style is to make sure that I leverage the team and I listen pretty well, meaning the best answers typically, or the best solutions typically will come from the people on the team that are on the front lines. And in many cases, it comes directly from our customers because you have to think outside the box to try to see the options that are available to help you take on and provide a solution. So figuring out what the challenge really is, what options are available, but then it becomes really important to drive alignment and clarity on how we're going to approach that, and then really focus the team on prioritizing what we need to focus on to be able to provide that solution. It's at the end of the day, there's always more things that the company can do and that the teams can do than is possible to get done. So making sure you're picking the right things and focusing your priorities and your resources on those things that are critical is kind of one of the things that I think has worked very well for me.
Excellent. So, there's been a lot of buzz in the industry, and I guess particularly around like the reseller channel about Pelco. Tell me some of the developments that have taken place. There's been changes, but where is Pelco today, and what's your kind of go-to-market strategy, as you move forward?
So I think probably one of the most significant things, over the last year or so, we've really launched an initiative which we call Moving Along by Your Side. And it's an initiative that's more than just kind of a marketing perspective. It's one that touches a lot of different elements of the organization. The concept is that our business has evolved incredibly over the last 10 years. And when we look at our partners and our resellers, their businesses have evolved just as the technologies evolved, and even, our end users' needs have evolved. So as we've been doing what we do for as long as we've done it, Pelco's got an incredible, I'll say, resource base in our reseller channel and in our end users that are using our customers every day. And as we make changes in the company, and as we've implemented our Moving Ahead by Your Side initiative, it's something that we try to leverage the input and the needs of our partners to make sure that our changes are in line with what they need. And so, it's really initiating and prioritizing the things from a technology perspective and focusing our efforts on the technology where we believe we can bring meaningful innovation to the market. And then also implementing and evolving our support channels and the integrations and the partners that we work with to be able to bring the right solutions to the market. So Moving Ahead by Our Side is probably the theme that's probably had the biggest impact, and the one that we see really resonating well with our partners as well as our end users.
How do you feel that differentiates you from the other, camera manufacturers? What's the difference? I hear some of these guys saying the same thing in terms of partners and all of that. So what really makes Pelco different?
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of manufacturers, a lot of good manufacturers, a lot of good products in our industry today, and a lot of them are partners of ours from a technology perspective as well. I think one of the things that's probably the most different is that as we tend to focus more on solutions, you'll see, like if I give an example here at the ASIS show, we've chosen at this show to pick 4 specific vertical markets that we're really prioritizing. And when we look at the solutions we're presenting here for oil and gas, for gaming, for surveillance, and for ports and seaports, what we're able to do is really show a complete solution, meaning we're doing less and less talking about, I'll say, things like wide dynamic range and focusing more on the overall solution that makes a difference for the airport. And all of the pieces of the puzzle that you put together to be able to help the people in the airport that are doing their jobs be able to quickly reunite, kids that have been separated from their parents, or if you're looking at the oil and gas industry, we're showing how we're partnering with other manufacturers to be able to make it easier to prevent perimeter breaches, and at the same time reducing false alarms in the process. So I'll say the focus on understanding what's needed in those core verticals and being able to deliver the complete solution. We have an advantage in that we do have a broad range of products to bring to bear to provide solutions, from the cameras all the way through the VMS, mouse and counts, pan tilts. We've got a wide spectrum of video solutions that we can offer. And so bringing what we've got into those specific verticals as a complete solution, along with working very closely with the other manufacturers that have technology that complements ours, whether it's analytics or whether it's data analysis associated with games or point of sale, making that all very straightforward and easy for the end user to implement and to use on a day-to-day basis is probably the most significant thing that I would say differentiates us.
Can you talk to standards? So standards as a whole, but then compliance standards within the individual sectors. I think probably you look at gaming and even oil and gas, critical infrastructure. What are you doing in that area, and how does it impact your business model?
So I think obviously regulations and standards and requirements becomes a critical element for success in in a couple of these core verticals. Whether it's an airport, a gaming, and or an oil and gas type application. There's worldwide standards and different regulations required depending on where you are and what the solution is. So it's become a significant part of our business model, and it becomes a priority anytime we take on a new product development. And so, obviously we focus on providing high quality video and solutions for recording and control, but in doing so, we do take into account gaming regulations, we take into account compliance standards associated with explosion proof worldwide. Every country's got their own perspective on what those requirements need to be, and so it becomes a huge challenge. But we recognize that as a solution provider for these core verticals, it's something that immediately goes to the top of the list from a priority perspective on making sure that we're making it easy for our resellers as they're presenting the solution to the end users in these markets, that our products and our solution brings with it the necessary compliance with the regulations and with the standards that are in place, not just in a specific vertical, but in a vertical within a geography, because they do change globally.
Yeah, so we only have about 2 minutes left. Can you just give me a brief understanding of your global footprint? I guess really in terms of percentage of business, around the globe.
Obviously we do have a significant percentage of our business in North America, but our growth our growth in other geographies has been very aggressive. So we have a significant presence throughout the Middle East, throughout Europe, really we do reach all regions of the world. We've got facilities in most significant countries. We've got support, and our reseller channel is a big part of how we reach our customers globally, because we have got partners in every region of the world, every geography, and they allow us as a manufacturer to be able to work closely with them to reach the end users in these core verticals in each of these geographies globally. So I don't know if that answers your question specifically, but we do have growth in all different regions geography-wise.
Okay, it didn't really answer my question, but what percentage of business comes from North America?
At this point, more of our business comes from the rest of the world than North America.
Okay, all right. Well, I thank you for your time. It's been engaging, and I understand Pelco a little better now and where you guys are headed, and I appreciate that understanding. I appreciate the leadership style that you've talked about, and that's what this is all about. So, Dave, thank you very much for joining me today, and I enjoy the rest of As-Is. I'm sure I'll see you on the show floor.
Thanks, Tim. I look forward to bumping into you, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this morning.
All right. Thanks very much. Thanks, folks, for joining us. Bye-bye.